Houston is the 5th worst city in the nation for the affordable housing shortage.
The folks at the Houston Housing Authority must be getting nervous about those smelly East End land deals. And they should be. For the first time in 2.5 years, a new video appeared on the public housing website. It came just days after we revealed the Housing Authority crisis management contract was given to the ex-next-door neighbor of the Housing Authority Chairman Lorenz Snowden. What a small world. That one contract's been worth about $500,000 to the woman who also likes to party around the world with housing exec Donna Dixon.
I'm not aware of any hiding of anything.
Like a puppet on a string.
In fact, we've already busted Chairman Snowden for being simply a puppet on a string, so often it's sad, but not surprising, that he's still in charge. We've learned the wife of County Commissioner Rodney Ellis and the former public housing chairman Lance Gilliam are cashing in on just about every one of these housing deals. The new HHA video is called Fact or Fiction, and it argues the $54 million land deal just south of Buffalo Bayou is safe. Really? Let's freeze the video. HHA doesn't tell you they're buying more than 5 extra acres of land that's contaminated. Millions of your tax dollars. That's a waste of public housing money, plain and simple.
It's disgusting that they're going to use public taxpayer money to buy land that they can't use.
They won't tell you in this video you paid for that the land is literally surrounded by lead contamination, incinerated ash 23 feet high in some places. You would figure HUD would be worried about that and explain this math. Nearly 2 acres of the land has been taken out of the deal, but the purchase price has gone up instead. You gotta love government. And we're told if we don't do the deal right away, it will cost even more. Chairman Snowden probably knows why. His boss Sylvester Turner probably knows too.
Gravy train. It's the beefiest gravy train ever.
Speaking of math, in what they're calling the Edo 800 deal south of the Bayou, it looks like these mostly low-income apartments will end up costing you, are you ready, close to $260,000 a unit to build. Can we get real for a second? We can give all these low-income families their own new house in the suburbs, a brand new car, a gas card, and it would be cheaper. The schools are even better. How about this? Why don't we just cut everybody a check, a voucher, and they can live anywhere they want? That would be cheaper too. The Dolce Fino Consulting smell meter is off the charts on this deal. But there's even a bigger scandal to uncover here. Mayor Turner is now helping the Housing Authority push these deals through, using the coronavirus pandemic to mask the public right to see financial records on these very same deals.
They should not go forward without there being full transparency in what the deal is.
The Houston Housing Authority has closed its central business office, sure, but the website says they're still open for business remotely, except when it comes to seeing public records. We've complained, and now State Senator Paul Bettencourt is complaining too.
There's nothing in the COVID pandemic that suspends, public knowledge of these projects.
The Texas Attorney General opened the door for this COVID-19 cover-up. The public right to know has all but stopped.
March 24th, 2020, meeting of the Houston Housing Authority Board of Commissioners.
The Housing Authority still meets by teleconference, and they're voting on new real estate deals. But they'll only show you the documents they want you to see. How convenient. Since late 2018, the Housing Authority has created about 20 of these separate new corporations called public facility corporations. More importantly, these corporations are non-profit, which means they're not going to pay any taxes, ever. We've already seen how these public housing deals can mean big bucks to developers. In San Antonio, NRP made $10 million flipping an affordable public housing project in just 1 year. We do need to find new homes for the 296 Clayton homeless families who lost them, but the NRP deal is for 900 new low-income families on just 20 acres of land. That will strain schools, roads, police protection in the East End.
The places where you still could get revenue from, like these apartments, are now gone because some really greedy people wanted to, put their hands in the pot.
And that's why the managers in TERS 23 voted no way. The first phase of this project is worth $130 million, but the apartments and land will be off the tax rolls forever. The Barvin Group develops apartment complexes all over town.
This is taxpayer dollars that are coming way out of the system, and no one's saying anything about it.
For the East End Management District, the first phase of this one East Side housing project alone will cost neighborhood taxpayers $195,000 every year, forever. That means other East End residents will have to pick up the slack, pay more.
I'll entertain a motion to accept resolution number 3068, authorizing the creation of authorizing the creation of Windlock for PSC.
Last July, the Housing Authority Board created a nonprofit corporation for 2 public housing complexes on Windrock. For just one of the projects, $1.5 million will come off the tax rolls forever.
To take $1.5 million permanently off the tax rolls forever in exchange to give these 150 people access to this housing it's not a fair trade.
Text messages show Mayor Turner was directly involved in that real estate deal. And don't forget, developer Ohala also has Rodney Ellis's wife on the payroll. Wonder if that helps. This is one sweet deal. Consider that property taxes are up to 30% of all the expenses in building and running an apartment complex in this city.
It's a shady little deal, I'll tell you what.
Don't you think people have a right to know who's making money on this deal? Maybe that's why the cat got Lorenz Snowden's tongue. And maybe that's why HHA won't let us see any of those contracts, so you don't know how much of your money is going into someone else's pocket. But at least we know the address on that deal. You want to see how silly Mayor Turner has allowed this to become?
I'd like to call this meeting to order at 3:08 p.m. on October 15th.
Last October, minutes of the HHA meeting show approval of the Millbrook project, 170 apartment units. But where is it? The HHA minutes say it's in Meyerland, near Bear Creek part of town. I moved to Houston when I was 13, and by the time I was 14, I knew that Meyerland was like 20 miles away from Bear Creek.
All those in favor vote by the sign of aye. All opposed, motion carries.
When we watched that October meeting, we found the vote. But it's not even on the posted agenda required under state law.
I'd like to call to order the Victory Street Public Facility Corporation Board of Directors meeting to order.
I'd like to call the meeting to order of the Lakeside Place Public Facility Corporation.
These are big property tax shelters, and it looks like the Houston Housing Authority is just starting to pop these things out like popcorn, and that's not what the law was designed for in the first place.
No one even elected the members of the Houston Housing Authority. They're appointed by one guy, Mayor Turner. They're making decisions that potentially take millions of dollars of taxes off the rolls.
It's not potentially. They have taken millions of dollars of taxes off the rolls.
We've done the math on the consequences, and we'll show you what $1 billion in new public housing developments will look like when it's taken off your tax rolls. A loss of $11.4 million to Houston schools, $5.7 million to the city of Houston. A year. Hear that, Mayor? Money we could use to pay for firefighters and cops and potholes and flooding. So you think council should approve these deals?
I think we should, yes.
The lack of transparency worries City Councilman Mike Knox.
None of these projects come before City Council for a vote.
Appointed, elected, any kind of panel should not be able to make those decisions, because those decisions directly impact the taxpayers of Harris County.
Harris County stands to lose $4 million in taxes next year, and the number is growing every time the Housing Authority meets.
Especially in these trying economic times, to shift the tax burden away from some and onto others is not something that I think we need to be doing without it going through proper protocol and at least being vetted by the public and voted on by the members of Commissioners Court, who are elected and stand responsible to the public.
And as the chairman of the Senate Property Tax Committee, I'm going to be blowing the whistle on it. Look, I can guarantee you that one bill I'm going to file is that these deals have to be approved by their own city council. They should be ratified by all the taxing entities that are losing the income on it.
Clayton Homes is being demolished after Hurricane Harvey damage, so the freeway can be moved where it is now. The Housing Authority still needs federal approval to use that money to pay for much of this controversial East End land deal. What's with all the secrecy? I think I know why. Mayor Turner, he doesn't want you to see how this gravy train is made.
It's anti-transparency. That's what this is. It's anti-transparency.
Secrecy that will haunt Houston taxpayers financially for years to come.
I think it's great what you guys are doing. To me, it's a real tragedy for the city of Houston.
Gravy train. It's the beefiest gravy train ever.